The Jamie Vardy saga just won't go away, and once again his name has burst back into the headlines north of the border. Whispers, rumors, and now fresh comments have reignited speculation that the former Leicester City striker could be heading to Ibrox. For some, it's nothing more than a fantasy. For others, it's a story with just enough smoke to suggest there might be fire. Rangers, still active in shaping their squad for the upcoming season, are once again at the center of transfer talk. And this latest Vardy development has fans asking, could the unthinkable actually happen? Let's break it all down, because while the Vardy talk has taken over the spotlight, there's no shortage of other stories swirling around Ibrox. From new signings to bold opinions and transfer pursuits heating up across Europe, Rangers are a club refusing to stand still. Now, before diving back into the Vardy drama, we've got to talk about the latest addition to Russell Martin's squad. Central defender JG, a towering presence at 6'4", has been unveiled as the manager's sixth summer signing, arriving on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers. A player with pedigree, physicality, and hunger, JG made it clear from the outset that this move to Rangers isn't just another stop on his journey, it's a statement. Speaking to the club's official channel, he said Rangers was always on his radar as one of the biggest clubs in Europe. He spoke of pride of passion and of a burning desire to be remembered by the supporters. I want the fans to remember me. He said a bold line that echoes the mindset of a player who didn't come just to make up the numbers. He described himself as quick, aggressive, and comfortable with the ball at his feet. Traits that align perfectly with the style Russell Martin is trying to implement at the back. And there's already a connection. The defender had previously crossed paths with Martin during a spell at Wolves, and that familiarity has clearly helped accelerate the bedding process. In fact, the early signs from training have been more than promising. He's already picked up a knock to the head, a minor one, nothing serious, but even that was turned into a positive by the coaching staff. Assistant coach Matt Gill joked that it's the first time he's seen a player split his head open during a passing drill. If that's not a sign of commitment, what is? But let's circle back to the topic that has everyone talking. Jamie Vardy, ever since his exit from Leicester City, was confirmed speculation has gone into overdrive about where the veteran striker might land next. Rangers have been mentioned consistently and not without reason. Vardy's reputation as a relentless, intelligent, and lethal forward is well known, but not everyone's convinced he'd be the right fit. Former Rangers midfielder Andy Halliday has come out strongly against the comparison being made between a potential Vardy signing and the previous arrival of Jermaine Defoe at Ibrox. Halliday, who played alongside Defoe during the Englishman's time at the club, dismissed the idea that Vardy would replicate that kind of impact. And he didn't hold back. Defoe was vegan for 20 years, Halliday quipped, and Vardy has Red Bulls for breakfast. It's a cheeky line, but it gets to the heart of the debate. While both men are proven Premier League goal scorers with England caps to their names, their approaches to fitness, lifestyle, and style of play couldn't be more different. Halliday went further, suggesting that Vardy's primary weapon, his ability to exploit space behind defenses, might be neutralized in the Scottish Premiership. Unlike in the Premier League, where space can open up more regularly, many teams facing Rangers tend to sit deep defending close to their own box. That lack of space could limit Vardy's effectiveness. It's a fair point, and one that adds nuance to the conversation. This wouldn't be a signing just for the name. It would need to make tactical sense. Rangers, for their part, seem to be keeping their options open. The club is reportedly still interested in Luke Dong of PSV, a forward with a different profile. To Vardy, more dynamic, arguably better suited to breaking down low blocks, and still with room to grow, Dong could fit more seamlessly into Martin's plans. PSV boss Peter Bosz, however, doesn't appear keen on letting him go. He's already spoken directly with Dong, expressing his desire to keep the player in Eindhoven, but crucially, he hasn't shut the door on a potential move. I don't want to bombard him with messages, Bosz admitted, but he knows how much we want him to stay. That delicate balance between respect and pursuit reflects the careful approach Rangers are taking this summer. They're not throwing money around, they're targeting players who not only fill gaps in the squad, but who also fit the club's long-term vision. That brings us neatly to the Austrian Bundesliga, a market that's quietly becoming fertile ground. For Rangers' recruitment team, The latest name is certain 23-year-old winger from Wolfsburger AC who's just come off a season that saw him rack up 25 goal involvements. Bijlo might not be a household name, not yet at least. But his numbers are turning heads, and for good reason. He's young, productive, and physically ready for the step up. His blend of pace finishing and creativity would add a new dimension to Rangers' attack, especially out wide. What makes him even more attractive is his availability. Wolfsburger are reportedly willing to do business if their valuation is met. A fee in the region of £5 million. That's not small change, but it's in line with what Rangers have spent on key attacking signings in recent seasons, like Danilo and Cyril Desires. The difference this time, Bijlo's stats back him up. He's not just potential, he's already producing. And in a league that's proven to be a strong stepping stone to bigger things, Bijlo represents exactly the kind of smart, data-driven signing that could pay off quickly. He's also been recognized at international level, earning a senior cap for Austria. That kind of pedigree, even if he's not yet a regular starter for the national side, is another feather in his cap. Crucially, Bijlo comes with another trait Rangers have sorely missed in recent years: durability. While many of the club's past signings have struggled with injuries, Bijlo featured in the vast majority of matches for Wolfsburger last season. Availability is a skill in itself, especially in a campaign where Rangers will be juggling domestic and European commitments. For a club looking to build a consistent and reliable attacking threat, that's massive. So while fans might be dreaming of Premier League veterans like Vardy, the club appears to be tilting toward a different model. Younger, hungrier, or more cost-effective signings who can contribute immediately and grow in value. It's not the flashiest approach, but in today's market, it might just be the smartest. Even so, the noise around Vardy isn't likely to quiet down. His status, his story, and his sheer name recognition make him a magnet for headlines. Whether Rangers truly make a move remains to be seen, but for now, the club continues to keep its cards close to its chest. Meanwhile, preparations on the pitch continue at pace. The squad has been training at St. George's Park as they gear up for the crucial Champions League qualifier against Panathinaikos later this month. It's a massive test early in the season, and every session counts. JG, despite the knock to the head, has been Allen from day one. His attitude, physicality, and early impact are all good signs. The coaching staff are clearly excited by what he brings, not just in terms of defensive solidity, but also in terms of character and leadership. It's the kind of mentality Russell Martin is banking on as he rebuilds this squad. Players who won't hide players, who want the ball players, who can handle the pressure that comes with wearing the shirt. The fans demand more this season. And rightly so. The last campaign was up and down, full of inconsistency and frustration. This time around, with a refreshed squad and a manager with a clear identity, there's cautious optimism that something better is brewing. Still, the work is far from done. More signings are expected. More names will be linked. And with every passing day, the countdown to competitive action draws nearer. Rangers are moving with intent, not just to compete, but to win. The Vardy rumors might dominate the headlines, but behind the scenes, there's a very different story unfolding. A story of structure, of planning, and of building something that lasts longer than just one season. Whether or not the club makes a move for Vardy, one thing's clear: they're not standing still. And with the transfer window wide open, anything can happen next. Absolutely everything at Rangers right now feels like it's building towards something. There's a sense of momentum around the club, not just in terms of transfers or pre-season preparations, but in the very tone of how this new era under Russell Martin is being shaped. You can feel the urgency. You can sense the shift in standards. And it's not just about marquee names or old reputations. It's about hunger potential and redefining the profile of what a Rangers player looks like in 2025. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture for a moment. Jamie Vardy might be the headline grabber, but if you pay close attention to the kinds of players being brought in, there's a clear pattern emerging. Young, mobile, technically sound footballers with something to prove. That doesn't happen by accident. It's by design. Russell Martin and the recruitment team are putting together a group that mirrors his philosophy. High-tempo aggressive, pressing, playing out from the back, and dominating with and without the ball. And that's why someone like JG fits the mold so perfectly. His introduction wasn't just about plugging a hole in the defense, it was a statement. A quick, commanding center back who's confident on the ball and thrives in an aggressive setup. That's exactly what this team lacked at times last season. When Rangers were caught flat-footed or too passive in transition, it often came down to the backline not matching the tempo or reading the danger fast enough. JG brings that sharpness, that authority. He's not here to be another name on our team sheet. He's here to lead. But this squad is still taking shape. Behind the scenes, the staff know exactly where the gaps are. And while the likes of Balo from Wolfsberger and Dong from PSV offer very different skill sets, both names represent the kind of forward thinking that fans have been crying out for. Balo especially looks like the type of player who could explode at Ibrox. His numbers last season in Austria were no fluke. 25 goal involvements in a league known for its physicality, and tempo shows he's ready for more. He's not just about flair or tricks. There's end product. He makes things happen. And crucially, he keeps himself available. That's gold dust in a league where physical battles are relentless week in and week out. But Rangers can't afford to stop there. The rebuild needs to go deep. It's not just about the first 11, it's about the bench, the depth, the rotation, and having multiple options in every position. That's what separated the truly dominant Rangers sides of the past. They had players fighting for places, pushing each other in training, and stepping up without missing a beat when called upon. This current squad needs to get back to that level, because if the goal is to win everything domestically and make a real impact in Europe, good isn't good enough anymore. It has to be relentless excellence. And there's another side to all this that shouldn't be overlooked: the leadership and culture within the squad. Bringing in new players isn't just about talent. It's about attitude. It's about how they train, how they respond to setbacks, and how they handle the pressure of playing for a club with expectations like Rangers. Because make no mistake, the pressure is immense. Every misplaced pass, every drop point, every slow start is dissected and debated by thousands. You don't just play for Rangers, you represent something bigger. That badge carries weight. That's why the early impressions from JG matter. He's already showing a bit of bite in training, already bleeding for the shirt, literally after that head knock during a drill. It might sound like a minor thing, but it speaks volumes about his intent. He's not easing his way in. He's throwing himself into every session like it means something. That's the energy this squad needs. And that's the kind of character that turns good signings into cult heroes. As for Jamie Vardy, the debate will rage on. His career speaks for itself. Premier League winner, England international, one of the best storylines in modern football. But is he right for Rangers at this stage? It's a harder question than people think. On paper, the idea is romantic. A proven goal scorer, a big name, a player with the kind of ruthless mentality that fans would love. But football isn't played on paper. It's played in tight spaces with defenders breathing down your neck, and it's played 3 times a week across multiple competitions. And at 38, with a playing style built around explosive pace, questions about whether he still fits the bill are valid. Andy Halliday wasn't just throwing shade when he talked about Vardy's diet or training habits. He was highlighting a real concern about longevity and fit. Jermaine Defoe came to Rangers with a different kind of preparation, a different kind of mindset. He adapted his game. He was meticulous with his body. Vardy, for all his quality, has always been a player who thrives on instinct and chaos. And in a league where opponents sit deep and space is limited, those opportunities to run in behind just aren't there as often. That's why someone like Dong might be more appealing to the coaching staff. Younger, more versatile, and already used to playing in systems that demand movement and sharpness in tight areas. PSV want to keep him sure. But when a player is interested in a new challenge and the buying club can offer regular European football and a starring role, anything is possible. Dong could be that inside forward that adds unpredictability and dynamism to the Rangers front line. A player who, like Balo, brings not just potential but immediate value. And this push for more attacking firepower isn't just about adding depth. It's about making a statement. Rangers want to hurt teams again. They want to dominate games, not just survive them. They want to return to a style that's aggressive, fast, and fearless. And for that, they need players who can break lines, beat defenders, and finish chances with confidence. Last season, too many points slipped away in games where Rangers controlled possession but lacked that clinical edge. That can't happen again. Russell Martin knows this. His coaching style is intense. He wants players who are brave, on the ball, who take risks, who don't shy away from the moment. And everything about this summer's business so far reflects that mentality. It's not about flashy names or nostalgia signings. It's about building a team that can impose itself every time it steps onto the pitch. A team that doesn't just compete, but commands. And speaking of competition, the countdown to European qualifiers is already ticking. The draw has pitted Rangers against Panathinaikos, a difficult test by any measure. These are the kinds of fixtures that define a season. Qualifying for the group stages doesn't just bring prestige, it brings financial muscle, credibility, and the ability to attract even better players before the window closes. It's huge. And that's why the intensity in training, the focus in recruitment, and the clarity in messaging all matter right now. This is no time to fumble. The pieces are being laid carefully, the profiles of players being targeted, the structure being put in place, even the way the club is communicating with fans. It's all pointing toward a more deliberate, data-driven, and sustainable approach. No more scattergun, no more stopgaps. This is about the long term. And yet there's still room for something wild, something unpredictable, something like Vardy. Because no matter how much planning you do, football always leaves the door open for a bit of madness. A signing that gets the blood pumping, that lifts the dressing room, that lights a fire in the supporters. Maybe that's what the club is weighing right now, the balance between the logical and the emotional, between building for the future and giving the fans a headline moment they'll never forget. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain, this is a Rangers side on the move. A club that's learning from the past, investing in the present, and aiming for a future that's more ambitious, more modern, and more relentless than ever. And if the transfer rumors, preseason energy, and tactical shifts are anything to go by, this might just be the most fascinating Rangers season we've seen in years. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. There's a buzz going around Ibrox that could set the summer alight, and it's coming straight from Dens Park. Whispers are swirling that Rangers might be on the verge of pulling off a surprise signing with none other than Dundee FC striker Simon Murray at the center of the speculation. Now, no one's putting pen to paper just yet, but sources close to both clubs are hinting that talks have been ongoing. Quietly but surely, the idea of Murray swapping dark blue for royal blue is gaining traction, and fans across the Scottish Premiership are beginning to take notice. Simon Murray, known for his relentless work rate and sharp eye for goal, had a standout season with Dundee. His performances didn't just help the club secure key wins, they also caught the attention of scouts and fans alike. While he might not be the flashiest name on the transfer radar, his gritty determination and knack for finding the net make him a perfect fit for a side looking to add depth and firepower. It's understood that Rangers are keen to bolster their attacking options ahead of the new campaign, especially with European ambitions looming large. The inclusion of a proven Premiership striker who knows how to battle it out on tough Scottish pitches could be just the edge the team needs. And Murray, at 32, brings experience, maturity, and hunger, qualities that can't be taught on the training ground. Some within the Rangers faithful might raise an eyebrow at such a move. After all, it's not the headline-grabbing signing many expect in the summer window. But football isn't always about glamour. Sometimes it's about guts, and Simon Murray has those in spades. While neither club has made an official statement and the player himself remains tight-lipped, the rumor mill shows no signs of slowing down. Could this be the shock move of the season? Time will tell, but one thing's for sure. If Rangers do manage to land Murray, the rest of the league will sit up and take notice. For now, it's just a murmur. But in Scottish football, even the quietest whispers can grow into roars. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.